One positive, Robert, is that we went digital straight to the people. We served up 1.5 billion digital ads to the citizens of London. That's 10 million people. And so we tried to cut out the gatekeepers, the mainstream media, the political parties, and go straight to the people. And Robert, when I spent 5 minutes with someone on the street, could have been a teenager, an old lady, could have been someone from Iraq, Afghanistan, Nigeria, or England. 5 minutes after talking to me, they said, okay, I'll vote for you. But I couldn't sit down with 10 million people. And so I think that's why we didn't make it. But we're still fighting, Robert. And like you said, we still have the same mission, which is to try to educate people that they have the power to transform themselves and not buy into this narrative. But it was an intense process, to say the least, Robert.
And you're doing a great job by inspiring the younger generation to keep going. I don't care if it's Bitcoin, Dogecoin, gold, silver, entrepreneurship. But if you do what school teaches you to do, you'll wind up like my poor dad, a PhD, poor, helpless, and desperate, so afraid somebody's going to cut that line. And when they cut it, died.
Yeah.
It was not pretty, Brian. So when I saw you running for office and going, God, I hope you don't have a IV line to the government, but they're going to, and they try to cut it as hard as they can.
Yeah.
You know that? I know that.
Yeah, it's so true. And it's strangely enough, Robert, the last night I was campaigning, the day before the election, I was out here at Stratford Station on the steps, and some young man came up and said, Brian, and I thought he was going to ask me about my policies on crime or building houses or getting the economy kickstarted. And he said, Brian, what can you teach me about money? I saw your interview with Robert Kiyosaki. And without thinking, I said, the rich people make money work for them. They don't work for money. And all of a sudden, Robert, literally 20, 30 people started gathering around me, and they wanted me to teach them about money. And I was thinking, you know what? I've been doing this for 10 years, putting information like our interviews out there. People were hungry for this information. And so I am inspired that we can still create change, even if I'm not in office. And so we're moving forward. You know me, Robert. We always go hard. We stick with what we believe in. We put everything on the line, like when we fought for freedom of speech last year. You've always been massively supportive of us. And I really appreciate that, Robert. And you're still trying to change the game. You're 74, Robert, and it feels like you're just getting started.
It's what else do we do? People like London Real, the organization, your channel does more than anything you could possibly do to it. So that's why I support you. I give you courage. I have no respect for those effing school teachers. My whole family are school teachers. They're good people, but they're cowards. They're so afraid someone's going to cut that. And that's what keeps people tethered. That. So what Rich Dad teaches is that if you don't need money, what could you do? So that's why I support what you do and all this. And my friend Donald Trump and I, we get hammered too. He doesn't need money either.
Right. Robert, how do we...
People don't understand why that is. Oprah Winfrey had me on her program in 2000. Now she's worth $3.5 billion, okay? Guess who turned me down? The editors of New York Times. So who has more money? Oprah or New York, the editors? The editors probably make $100,000 a year. Oprah makes $3.5 billion. Oprah is a capitalist. The people who are the New York Times, communists. It's that simple. They don't know anything about money.
Yeah.
And so the way they can promote communism is by never teaching you about money. So what we at Rich Dad did was, since they're teaching communism in our schools, I created the cash flow board game and our books and YouTube things to teach capitalism in our homes. I'm against school systems. They're criminal operations run by good people who know nothing about money.
Robert, is there more we can do? You're broadcasting, I'm broadcasting, you're creating content, but are we pissing into the ocean? Are we going to be able to change the game for a whole generation of young people?
Yeah, we already are.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's not you and I are not doing it alone. Technology is going to do it anyway. That's why I'm warning the young people, get your gold, silver, Bitcoin, Ethereum now, because if and when, I think it's not if, I think it's when they go to government coin, the dollar the Fed coin or the Euro coin or the Yuan coin, they're going to wipe out the little bankers. Every banker will go like a truck driver. The transmission system will change. And they're going to go straight communism, which is central planning. And when you say DeFi, you're in defiance of central planning. And we have central banks, we have Wall Street, and we have the Treasury. That's central planning. It's communism. It's Marxism.